Hey, 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 what it do? Make the like button blue. Sub if you new. Hey, what it do? Make the like button blue. Sub if you new.
Hello, salutations. What it do? Sadot the Gamer off our direct know about subscribe. Let's get it. And we are back once again. Busy day. This time we are spectating on the THQ Nordic Showcase 2024 is that time again. I've taken a bigger interest in the THQ Nordic Showcase ever since they revealed The Last Ronin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin, at last year's event. Now I've taken a vested interest in this showcase. So we're going to do a little pre-show as usual. The official pre-show starts up in about less than 30 minutes. So we'll switch to that. How's everyone doing? What's up, chat? What's up, Travis? Joker, what's up, Michael Davis, Fallen Vlogs. What's up, Dirt, Film Watcher, Moby, what up, what up? Shout out to my members. Crimson Gamer. What's up, Baller? Old Man Eastwood, what's up, Patrick? How you doing, Lightning? What's up, Ridley? Different THQ indeed. Yeah, THQ exists under the, unfortunately, under the Embracer Group. But yeah, THQ is still going on. THQ Nordic is still is a thing. That is the brand. They make a lot of Paramount games. Let's see, how many people actually own THQ Nordic? All right, just the Embracer Group. Yeah, THQ Nordic is a publisher. There used to be Nordic Games, and they bought the THQ trademark in 2014, which was obviously up for grabs. RIP, the original THQ. They're known for doing a lot of licensed games like Nickelodeon, Lucasfilm stuff, Comedy Central, Disney, but they are owned by the Embracer Group, sadly. Sub Trini, high hopes for cool games and good news. Same. We need Destroy Humans 3 or Darksiders reboot. Yeah, those would be fine. If I see if I see Black Forest Games at this showcase and they're showing Destroy All Humans instead of The Last Ronin, I will be very disappointed. If they're showing literally anything else than The Last Ronin, I will be disappointed in Black Forest. Breaking news, Racer Group is the caster of gaming. Shocking. Who knew? What we have here on screen is everything that's confirmed. And then we got the rumors, we got the unconfirmed but likely stuff. There's also going to be a pre-show hosted by Hello Games. I think they're showing off something, but we'll see exactly how many I'm expecting. I think it's supposed to be around 9. Patrick Star, the video game, sounds a billion times better than the last Ronin game. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Absolutely no way a Patrick Star game is better than a mature adaptation of the last Ronin. Absolutely no way. You think we should just do the most important thing ever and accept Spider-Man 2 DLC is coming soon and Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the best anime of the last 20 years? I agree, Travis. I agree 100%. You are spot on once again. They'll probably woke up the last Ronin. How do you woke up the last Ronin? Also, bad news. I didn't cover this because it's not about a video game, but Game Informer is dead. It's over. It's Jover. Another one bites the dust. Game Informer was just closed down completely. We just learned that Sadot has amazing hearing. True. Yeah, we just got the news today. Game Informer completely shut down. Not a restructuring, gone. Every single person at Game Informer is fired. Nobody's left. It's literally over. They're pushing out their final magazine. It's actually done. No more Game Informer. 33 years. That's insane. I've been reading Game Informer since I was a kid. That's insane. Why couldn't it be IGN? No, it's always bad when people lose their jobs. I hope everybody at the former Game Informer is able to bounce back. You remember receiving your monthly magazines? Yeah, I might have to grab the last one just for the memories. That's wild though. E3's gone. Game Informer's gone. Oh man. The industry is changing. The world is changing. G4 TV, man, when gaming was the actual games are, lit, but gaming when I was a kid was something else, bro. It was just built different. The technology is better now, but gaming, I just felt gaming was just being involved in the gaming community was just better. There was no Twitter, there was no Reddit. You had G4. Your gaming content was G4 TV, which was amazing. You had their E3 coverage where E3 was a huge deal. You had really good gaming shows like Judgment Day, Cinematech. You had your strategy guides, you had your Game Informer. You had IGN before they were corrupt. You would go to GameStop or Blockbuster. It was just a great time to be a gamer. Now everything's just so cynical and kind of corporate. I don't like it. In fairness, there's still no Twitter. It will always be Twitter. I'm never calling it X. Gaming seems to be dying. That's the thing. It's not dying. It's bigger than it's ever been. Like, there are more gamers than ever before. The industry is making more money than they ever did. It's just gotten so big that it's no longer personal. Gaming felt more personal because everybody wasn't pretending to be a gamer for clout. You know, it wasn't attracting all of these hedge funds and money men like it is now. It was more pure. You know, it wasn't any of this culture war garbage. It was just about the games. You know, even AAA gaming actually meant something. Like if a game was called AAA, you knew you were getting like top quality stuff. Now it's, you know, AAA is now a stand-in for bloated, unpolished. It's just different. Never called X. Always been Twitter. Exactly. That is the way. Just about money and pandering. Yeah, money ruined. Money definitely ruined gaming. Gaming became a victim of its own success. If something gets big, you'll get people who don't understand trying to cash in. Yeah, that is unfortunately how it is. You had money people, you had activists, all these people who don't really care about games just infiltrated because they sense this is where the wave is. And they've contributed nothing. Like the games themselves, you know, say what you will, you know, the AAA has definitely taken a quality drop, but there's still every year, just you can't compete with just the volume of games that come out every year that are good on just all platforms, all different games. Like that's the best thing about it right now. Not only the technology giving big games more upside, but the accessibility. So no matter what type of gamer you are, no matter what type of game you're looking for, you can probably find it somewhere. You don't even think Avengers would have died back in the day? Oh, for sure. Like there were so many superhero games back in the day, and a lot of it was slop. like people have fond memories of Ultimate Alliance, but those never really even sold that well or really reviewed that well. But, you know, people just enjoyed them for what it was. Avengers was ambitious, but they just fumbled the bag like from the very beginning because they didn't have a clear vision from the start and tried to cut corners. Destroy Humans 3? Could be. Haven't heard anything about it yet. As far as I know, Black Forest was focused on the last Ronin game before they had to fire, you know, 50% of their staff because of the Embracer Group. Remember the old Deadpool game? Classic. Absolute classic. Yeah, there was a lot of movie tie-ins, but you know, some of the stuff was really good. Like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man games were really good. Obviously you had, you know, Web of Shadows, Shattered Dimension, stuff like that. But the Captain America First Avenger game was really good. Hulk had a few really good games. Green Lantern, Thor, they had, you know, kind of average games. Superman Returns, you know, open world Superman game. That was a lot of fun. There were superhero games coming out all the time back in the day. And now we're kind of finally moving our way back towards that, where you have a lot more superhero games on the horizon. Not as much from DC yet. You know, DC got to get on the train. They're definitely lacking behind Marvel, especially after this latest rumor about a Captain Marvel game being in development. Like, like that's a lot of Marvel games compared to not that many DC games. Like I think the Captain Marvel rumors could be related to the third EA Marvel game. So if that's still a thing, you got three single player open world games from EA that are Marvel. Plus you got the Rise of Hydra. You got Marvel Rivals. Insomniac's got Marvel Spider-Man 3, Marvel's Wolverine, you know, rumors of a Venom spinoff game. That's a lot of Marvel projects. You know, Xbox has Blade. And I mean, you look at DC, they got Wolf Among Us 2, which keeps getting delayed and still no release date. You got the Wonder Woman game, which they're not promoting. That also might be having problems. And that's it. They have unannounced. They have the rest is just unannounced stuff. They don't have anything. They don't have anything out. They got to step it up. The Royal Green Lantern games are mid, just like them. You mean? Yeah, but mid was just okay back then. Mid. There's nothing wrong with a mid game in a vacuum. Like every game doesn't have to be a generational 10 out of 10. Like a 7 out of 10 game is perfectly adequate, especially if it's a superhero game. You go in, you beat up some Batmans, use your superpowers, and you call it a day. With a Blade game, well, the Blade game is being made by a studio that is owned by Microsoft. But Microsoft has confirmed repeatedly that they're no longer in the exclusivity business. I mean, I don't even think they're going to be making Xbox consoles for much longer. They've already ported Xbox exclusives over to the PS5. They said they're going to do more. All their games already, day one, come out on PC. So Xbox doesn't really do exclusivity anymore. Like, they haven't done exclusivity for years, really. And that was just with the PC stuff. Now, they've opened the doors for PlayStation 5 ports of their games. So I think by the time we get closer to Blade, it's going to be confirmed to become the PlayStation. Because Xbox is all in on the cloud. Like, they think cloud gaming is the future. They've got a foothold in the market with Game Pass, even though it's not growing. But they think eventually, when cloud gaming, becomes a thing, they'll be the best position to take advantage of it. That's why they just, did that deal with Amazon. So now, if you have a certain Fire Stick, you don't even need an Xbox. You can just get Game Pass and play all your Game Pass games through your Fire Stick device. You just need the right Fire Stick, a Game Pass account, and a controller. That's it. That's the future. Xbox on every screen. That's their vision. They're going to make it so that you can access the Game Pass library on any device. That's their goal for the future. They want, no matter what device you have, they want you to be able to access your Game Pass games and just play it as if you had a traditional Xbox with your internet connected to it and everything like that. Which I think is actually cool. I'm waiting for that Steam integration. like once there's a cloud service, I think this could be interesting if they somehow link. If Microsoft would be very smart to try to do this, try to make it so that you can access Steam through Game Pass. I don't know what they have to do with Valve to make it work, but if you could access your Game Pass and play it on any device, just with a like for go back to the Fire Stick example. If you could just buy a Fire Stick, like $40, $30, and be like, okay, I just need an Xbox controller, and I just need a Game Pass subscription. Okay, if they can make it so that on my Fire Stick device with my Xbox controller, I can access any game on Game Pass and Steam. So I can just hop on the Fire Stick, connect my controller, and go to the Steam library, grab something off Steam, play it with my Xbox controller, grab something from Game Pass, play something. If we can make that work, I'm all in. I'm all in on the cloud. So Blazing, Patrick, game is being published and developed by Outright Games. Has that game actually been confirmed? Let me check if it's actually a thing. Games has splinter of favorite special game. Okay, so there's no new info. But yeah, it's but Outright is the publisher. Outright is the developer, not the publisher, I should say. Who owns Outright? Oh, they're independent. Nice, nice. When this thing start, in 4 minutes. In exactly 4 minutes, the pre-show will begin. And I think that's when I think there's going to be a game reveal then as well. It's from THQ Nordic's sister publication. One of their subsidiaries. They're gonna have some kind of reveal. We'll see what it is. That bargain bin Guardians of the Galaxy game looks like it's not going to do well. Are you talking about Concord? No, it's not. Let's hope Titan Quest 2 can make up for Diablo 4 being asked. Honestly, I don't care about Titan Quest. I'm just here for the last Ronin. Yeah, Concord was not a success so far. The beta did not go very well. Now, I don't know how it's doing on PlayStation, but it's if they were hoping for a Helldivers 2 situation, it's not happening with Concord. PC just said absolutely not to Concord. So the only way that's doing anything is if PlayStation players just really interested in it. I don't know, I feel like after playing Concord, I feel like it should have been a free-to-play game. I think, like, playing Helldivers, I'm like, okay, this is $40 feels good for Helldivers. It's a really fun game, is what it is. There's some meat to this. It's pretty good. Playing Concord, I'm like, bro, this clearly should have been a free-to-play game. It either should have been, because it's trying to get in on that Overwatch territory, and I'm like, bro, you're not competing with Overwatch by making a PvP hero shooter with much worse looking characters with a $40 price tag. Like, that's just not happening. Helldivers deserved that 40. 100%. I thought after sitting back and watching Helldivers for a little bit, I ended up just giving him the 60. I bought Deluxe because I was like, you know what? Hold this W. When do you think Captain Marvel game? No idea. I'm not even 100% convinced it is a Captain Marvel game. But if that's a thing, this very much, like I said in my video, very much sounded like that third EA game. Maybe that's one of the things that they were considering, because that makes the most sense. Because it's definitely possible that there's another studio working on a Marvel game, but feels like this one, because the NetEase thing kind of came out of nowhere, but relatively there was some info about NetEase a little while ago working on some Marvel stuff, but and they had already announced a partnership with Marvel, so that wasn't too out there. Like, the only other partnership we know about is Epic Games. They made a deal with Marvel. Disney, and specifically, made a big investment into Epic, but they're doing like metaverse stuff, trying to put more Disney IP into Fortnite, that sort of thing. But they could also presumably make a Marvel game if they wanted. And the only other one like I know of is Disney and EA's deal, and that mysterious third game. So it feels like that's the one. ETA for Wolverine, probably 2025 or 2026. Like, and I have a video coming up about some of the Marvel game announcements. I think I'll drop it tomorrow. But we might get some stuff next week, because Disney is doing their big showcase. And I heard there's going to be a lot of game focused this time around. And I believe this one happens every 2 years. And the last time they had this showcase, they did the world premiere for what is now known as Rise of Hydra. So I would expect some Star Wars games, definitely some Outlaws, maybe some of the other Star Wars stuff, that's games that are in development, some Marvel stuff, current and future Marvel stuff at the Disney showcase next week. We'd love for Epic to make a Marvel game. The Marvel skins slap too hard for them to just use for a shooting game. Yeah, I would be very surprised if Epic doesn't eventually just straight. I know they're busy with Fortnite and other stupid investment like actual stupid investments, but with all the money they just got from Disney, it kind of feels silly if they didn't do like an Unreal 5 Marvel game. It's just a matter of picking the right game. All right, let's switch over. The official countdown is on. So in about 15 minutes, yeah, they're not counting down to the show, they're counting down to the pre-show. There's going to be a pre-show from Hello Games, and I think they're going to show off some stuff. So the time is almost among us. Fingers crossed on the last Ronin. Light no fires. I would love that, but this is the other one. Hold up. Let me find what are they called? They're a subsidiary of Hello Game. They're a subsidiary of THQ Nordic. HandyGames, there it is. Yeah, HandyGames, that's the one. HandyGames is doing the pre-show for the THQ Nordic Showcase. I can't wait for Light No Fires though. I have no idea what EA is planning for their schedule, for their scheduling. They dropped the Iron Man and the Black Panther reveals out of nowhere. They chose not to do them at the showcases. Like WB, you know, they revealed Wonder Woman at a Jeff Keighley event. And so far, both the EA games have just come out not during non-events. So no idea what they're planning or when they're planning to do any of that. They don't seem particularly pressed about being there for shows, for showcases. They just kind of just drop stuff on their own time. Fingers crossed on a Titan Quest 2 and Last Ronin. Yes, I would be very happy if I see some turtle action, and not the other turtles like Last Ronin. I know there's other Ninja Turtle stuff in terms of games that they got, but I want to see that Last Ronin. I want to see some Last Ronin gameplay. Or I'll just settle for confirmation that it's still on track to release in the next couple years. Because we're definitely past due for an announcement. They mentioned after the layoffs that they were going to have, I heard they were going to have some kind of announcement, but we haven't heard anything yet. So this would be the place to give us an update. And the CEO of Black Forest was also teasing something. So I'm pretty sure we're getting some last Ronin news today. I don't know if it's going to be good news, but it definitely should be news. Will we get something Marvel related? I don't know if any Marvel projects currently in development at THQ Nordic. Have they ever even done a Marvel game before? Marvel Superhero Squad Combat. Marvel Superhero Squad. When did that come out? 2011. That's a show. Where's the game? Actual game? (2009), and they were published by THQ. So this was back when they were THQ, before they went under. And then the name got acquired by Nordic Games, and they became THQ Nordic. So yeah, have not heard anything Marvel related for THQ Nordic. Destroy Humans, that's Black Forest Games. They're the ones who are making the last Ronin game. That was supposed to be their next project. Last Ronin, they announced that about 2 years ago. They did the teaser trailer last year at the 2023 THQ Nordic Showcase. Then we heard the news earlier this year that THQ Nordic Black Forest Games had to lay off 50% of their staff because of the Embracer Group, and that kind of put everything up in the air. Am I planning to play Mutant Unleashed? Probably not. I'll look at the gameplay. Punisher game. If you want to play Punisher, just play Marvel Rivals. On a scale of 1 to 10, how many negative points does that god awful Borderlands movie get? I don't know. Like, so I'm not a Borderlands fan. That would be J Shock Blast. I was never like huge into Borderlands, so I don't really care about the lore. I played Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That was fun for like a month. So I'm not invested in the Borderlands universe. So it's not going to affect me like it would affect someone like J Shock Blast. But just looking at the game, just look at the movie from like a outside perspective of someone who isn't like super into Borderlands, it looks like trash. it looks like absolute slop. It looks like the Dragon Ball evolution of Borderlands. It looks awful. And I have zero interest in checking it out. Yeah, Tiny Tina, the base game of Tiny Tina, I enjoyed. I enjoyed the gunplay. I liked the gear, the powers, the writing was really good. The visuals were fun. Yeah, just that all that DLC was just ass. The DLC was horrible. I'll be honest, you're interested in Borderlands movie. Maybe it's where you like the game, you hate what they did to it. When's the next PlayStation event? Officially, PlayStation is going to be at the Tokyo Game Show in September. Unofficially, they're also having a PlayStation showcase. Yeah, if I do, I'm not even thinking of a scenario where I would watch Borderlands. Like some movies I'm interested in, but not enough to go out and see it in a theater. So like I'll wait until it's like on Amazon, you know, something I can watch, or maybe it's on Max, and I'll just watch it then. You know, Deadpool and Wolverine, I had to go to the theater for that. That was an event. Anything else, I'm like, Borderlands. I'm not even imagining a scenario where I'm just at home looking for something to watch, and I see Borderlands, and I'm like, all right, yeah, that's the one. Like that, like there's no scenario where that would happen. You think it's possible Insomniac reveals Wolverine gameplay and Venom announcement at the same time? Anything is possible. As the great Kevin Garnett once said, well, to quote him directly, anything is possible. The question is, how likely would it be? And if Insomniac was going to be showing off gameplay for Wolverine, we would assume it would be at a PlayStation event, a major one, like they did at the 2021 PlayStation Showcase. Now, at last year's PlayStation Showcase, they only showed the one game, so I'd set my expectations around that. Like 2021, they showed 2 trailers, but you know, for one for Wolverine, one for Spider-Man 2. But then when it was time for gameplay, you know, they did a 12-minute feature for Spider-Man 2 and didn't have anything for Wolverine or anything else. So odds are we would get like a 12-minute Wolverine gameplay demo, or you know, like they did for Spider-Man 2 last year. Maybe a Venom tease, but I don't think Venom is coming out for like a couple years. Hype for Helldivers 2 DLC. I honestly forgot about it. I haven't logged on to Helldivers in like a while. I want them to raise the cap on medals. I want to have more medals. I'm glad they're getting an expansion. I'll dive into it. I was on First Descendant, but I don't know. I just haven't been feeling Helldivers lately. An expansion would be, you know, this is a nice way to get back in. But my main issue with Helldivers, apart from the technical problems, is they're just absolute dog water when it comes to game balance. Like the new weapons they come out with are just always either trash, or if they're actually good, they get immediately nerfed into the ground. And I'm just over it. Like I have so many other games I could be playing, and that's why I'm playing them instead of Helldivers. Like I'll go on Helldivers because I want to have fun. I want to jump on with some people, shoot some aliens, and you know, yell democracy, America, and call it a day. Like they lost sight of the core of the game, which is the fun and the memes. Like, give me some really cool weapons that I can use to blow up some aliens. Don't nerf every weapon in the game that people like, and then just not have anything to replace it with. Like it's boring. Like no one likes that. That's why they lost so many players. Like they forgot that the game is supposed to just be fun. So come back, add new content, buff weapons, add cool new ones, and yeah, we'll see. Odds are last Ronin getting revealed. I'd say 70%. Starship Troopers Extermination looks fun. Feel like Spider-Man 2. I'm actually looking forward to Warhammer 40K. I gotta tap into that one too. That game looks fun. That new Warhammer game. Feel like Spider-Man 2 DLC come December. Yeah, holiday release could work as well. Holiday release could work as well for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like if we don't get it, the announcement in the summer, it feels like all signs are pointing to. Right now, it kind of just feels like all signs related to Sony stuff is pointing to September. That just feels like how it's shaping up. Like Sony already confirmed they're skipping Gamescom. You know, we have the D23 showcase next week, so that's going to be a bunch. There's going to be a lot of Disney game stuff there, including Marvel games. So if there's nothing there, then it just feels like all signs are just pointing to September for the PS5 Pro and, you know, any other showcase stuff. Captain Marvel game. Yep. I made a video about that earlier today. Definitely go check that out. This is the longest 2 minutes ever. That's what she said. D23, is that some kind of weird D&D cult? I mean, it's a famous annual event. Comes out every 2 years where Disney showcases a bunch of their upcoming stuff and, you know, takes a look back and celebrates all they've done. The boys actually had an episode making fun of it this year on season 4. It was really funny. They mocked that whole episode at the Vault Expo. That was basically just making fun of D23. It was actually hilarious. It kind of spot on. All right. It's time. Are you ready? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? This is so epic. I'm making a whole video about D23 tomorrow. I'll go into detail there on what we know. The HandyGames Showcase. So HandyGames is going to be doing this for 15 minutes.
Welcome to the HandyGames archive. My name is Handy9000, and I was created to guide you through the HandyGames Showcase of 2024.
And then the Nordic one is after this.
For our highly rated early access game, Oddsparks and Automation Adventure. Commencing data export.
Is the audio on? It is for me. Handy9000 sounds like a massage parlor. More like a massage technique. Yes, sir. Thanks for watching Blazing. Travis, subtlety is not your strong suit. You are a lot of things, Travis. Subtle is not one of them.
I have found another attachment to this data entry. Would you like to proceed?
Odd Sparks. An automation adventure. Demo is out right now.
Our next entry is
Game looks like RuneScape with better graphics. Accurate.
performing system diagnostic. Demon presences identified. Countermeasures initiated.
Demon Slayer.
Agents have been alerted.
Heavens! Can that overenter
What's up, Navaflow?
shut up for a second? I'll tell you what happened.
Get the demon.
All started with that blonde shithead, Aaron. I ripped off that idiot's head like nobody's business. You know, killing humans used to be fun. But there were so many, they just didn't.
You're right on time.
Over and over I killed them, but they came up with something new every time.
The Nordic Showcase starts in 15 minutes.
They made me bleed.
This is the pre-show entertainment.
And another one of them made holy light rain down on everyone. One guy even had the audacity to use a chain hook against me. That is my thing, for fuck's sake. But at some point it just got ridiculous. No idea where they found that stuff, but they started throwing black holes at me.
Yeah, this
Motherfucking black holes.
language.
And now, you want to try me too? I'm gonna enjoy ripping you apart like the rest of them. You will make a fine sacrifice. Prepare to die.
So that's Lethal Honor, Order of Apocalypse on every
Resource
platform.
management is requested. Entry on human rituals for food gathering discovered.
Never understand the draw of roguelike. I can understand. I grew up on Metroidvanias type games. Who among us haven't dabbled?
Way of the Hunter will be available soon for your mobile device. Alarm. Breach detected. Vermin infestation identified. Hey, that tickles. No, don't nibble on that cable.
Matt the Rat,
That's a game on
the
phone.
agile escape artist.
Nat, the house mouse.
I have something to show you.
Ratatouille.
Look at that.
It is beautiful.
I wonder what's out there. Now's the time to be a scavenger. No crowd to show off to.
A rat survival platformer.
Squad.
Yes, yes,
yes.
This is definitely unique.
Good. There's the energy.
Don't nibble on that
I'm gonna
cable.
say this once,
Don't tell me what to do.
Just once.
He had a Ratatouille game on PSP. Rat Quest, The Way Back Home.
A Rat's Quest. The way back home.
A rat adventure game. I would never make a game about rats. Unless it was about destroying them.
Start the world premiere. Handy 9000. Start the world premiere. Handy 9000. Do you read me?
If they announce TMNT,
Sorry, I'm
it
afraid
definitely
I
won't
can't
be
do
at the
that.
beginning of the show.
No. Handy 9000. Approve content.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
He's on off
Approve
like an
it.
hour. Hasn't been that long.
Do it!
No.
Do it!
No.
Do it now!
No. No.
Ah!
no,
Get the
no,
chopper!
No. 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 No.
This is the 15-minute pre-show, a presentation from HandyGames, giving us
World premiere.
that Handy 9000. All right, here's their world premiere. Looks like we have the Sims at home. This is literally the Sims. Tattoo Tycoon. So the Sims, but you're a tattoo artist. Okay. All right, so now the actual main showcase is about to begin. It's almost 3 o'clock. So now it's time for the THQ Nordic Showcase. That was HandyGames giving us that Handy 9000 showcase of what they're cooking up. Fingers crossed for Darksiders. Tattoo Tycoon, they really make tycoons are. Yeah, is there such a thing as a tattoo tycoon? Like, I know there are tattoo artists who are making a good living, you know, doing social media stuff. But a tycoon? I don't know. Like, is there some tattoo impresario who owns a string of tattoo parlors across the country? Is there a Jeff Bezos of the tattoo world that just has the tattoo parlor industry on lock? Like, that kind of just feels like a gig that you can make decent money on, but you don't get into it to become a millionaire. All right, here we go. Some wrestling, some South Park, some SpongeBob.
The invaders! They're coming! Time to poke you.
Destroy all humans. Mickey.
Look, it's Sandy.
He's in my head, Warren.
I can fix it.
AEW. This epic music. Why does this music go so hard? That's got to be the best music I've ever heard for a game showcase. Intro. By far. It didn't match the games that they were showing, but that music went hard.
Don't let the calm exterior fool you. Under the surface,
SpongeBob did not belong with that music.
No hero could ever save it.
That belongs at a PlayStation showcase. Last Ronin PS5 exclusive. If it does come out, it will be on all platforms. They confirmed that already. So Xbox players, fear not.
Luckily, Goldman is no hero.
Hitting that Naruto run, I see you. You bored waiting about Transformers Reactivate? Are we sure that game isn't canceled? I'm convinced that game is canceled. I think it's actually just not coming out anymore. Maybe it'll be at Gamescom. If it's not a Gamescom is literally, I think, the last choice. At this point, I'm assuming it's canceled.
Dr. Gilbert says the people we have feelings for can never really leave us.
Confirmed. I don't believe it for a second.
It sure is.
Is hate a feeling?
It sure is.
Gamescom is the 21st. We haven't heard anything about that game. They skipped Summer Game Fest entirely. They scrubbed the old posts. Like, I don't think that game is coming out. I hope it is. I hope it gets out there, but I have no faith in that game anymore. They have no faith in anything anymore. That's the right attitude. They have faith in, because the statement they made was weak. Like, we hope to have something in 2025, maybe to share. Like, it sounds like the game's getting canceled. So this is I think this is Epic Mickey. Do I accept friend requests from fans on PS5? Only if they also give me Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin for a friend invite. That's about right now, what, $50,000? 1 Bitcoin or $50,000 for a close friend request. That's the going rate. Make it 69 Bitcoins. No need to be greedy. I understand. Slow economy. People are struggling out there. I feel like $50,000 for for a friend confirmation is fair. That's fair market rate. Travis actually paid $100,000. He really wanted that friend request. He overpaid. I'm like, Travis, you don't have to give me more. It's just 50 grand. He insisted on another 50.
I haven't seen you this scarred since last September. Come on, move it.
Need for Speed? No way. Wish you had that kind of cash. You bought your house, same as you. Buying a house is.
We'll get you sorted.
I'm trying. If I have around that much money, I could actually buy the house I live in right now. I'm trying to buy it outright. I'm saving up my cash. I'm trying to outright buy this house I'm living in right now.
I promise.
So I don't have to pay mortgage anymore.
Lose my temper.
I want to just walk up. I just want to go to him straight cash. Be like, here, no more mortgage payments. Straight cash, homie. Wreckfest 2.
Feels like something came out between the seat.
Alright, so we got Wreckfest 2. Alright, what we got here? Explore a land of myth. This one is definitely not the last Ronin. GT for blind people is wild. Titan Quest 2. Yeah, is this what that is? Titan Quest 2. I know that was on the list. So top-down MMO. Be the last Ronin. It's your favorite comic book you've read. Let's summon the last Ronin trailer. Another Diablo. We don't know about the microtransactions yet. Can't call it Diablo. ARPG, actually. It looks okay if you're into this genre. I wish the combat in Baldur's Gate 3 was like this. I'd actually be playing it right now. Yep, this is Titan Quest 2, PS5, PC, Xbox Series XS.
Send him in.
This is definitely not last Ronin. Alchema Productions.
Welcome to the Valley of Mines, an immense penal colony. For the war against the orcs, the only undefeated enemies of the Kingdom of Murtana.
The Game Informer shutting down was
to supply his armies.
Shocking.
So
to
every
be honest.
man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Khorinis. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out his best.
It felt like one of those things that would just always be there
around the entire valley. But something disturbed the creation of the barrier, trapping everyone inside. The convicts revolted.
That's how these things goes now. Or maybe eventually somebody will buy it.
The old camp is satisfied with the current
and try to
situation.
relaunch.
As long as they deliver the ore, the king supplies them with everything they need.
I mean, if Gawker can make a comeback,
the new camp, however, thinks they can use.
I don't see why Game
blow up
Informer
the
can't.
barrier. And then there is the sect from the swamp. They
Just
believe that
need
the
some bored
mysterious
billionaire
deity will free them from their prison. Thus
to try to
begins your
revive it.
journey in the open world of the Valley of Mines. Creating Gothic Remake, we focus on the 4 pillars that we consider the core of the series. Simulation
Remake.
of a living world, exploration, story, and combat. Like the original 2001 title, Gothic Remake is
Might be
set on
getting this.
creating an immersive and realistic world. Enjoy a complex life simulation on a scale hardly ever seen before.
You can smoke in this
video
game? Sign me
During
up.
the day, the inhabitants of the colony carry out a variety
You smoking
of
some good
activities,
stuff.
while nature,
Even the
rich
smoke
in all
was
its
green.
diversity,
Holy.
lives out its own rhythm. All this gives the impression that
My
this
man,
world
my man got that
exists
loud for real.
without the player. Explore the colony on your own
His-
and enjoy the
his weed's so
unprecedented
green it
freedom
changed the
this open
smoke
world
color.
offers. In true RPG fashion, you decide when and where you go next. Meet numerous interesting characters, understand their inner motivations, and earn their respect by completing a series of elaborate quests. How you solve
I don't know how long the
problems
THQ
depends entirely
Q
on your
Nordic
choices.
is,
No matter
but
when, in what order, or if
how
you
many
do
games have they
anything
shown
at
so
all,
far? Like
the game
3,
will
4?
always respond appropriately to your decisions.
I expect this is gonna be around 10.
Experience a complex and demanding
So
combat
there's still
system
time for
with
the last Ronin
satisfying
game
character progression.
to make an appearance.
Overcome your opponents using a variety of melee weapons.
We're not panicking yet.
Eliminate them
We're
from a
relaxing.
distance, or learn the arcana of magic. Remember that each type of weapon behaves.
Is there a reason you think TMNT is going to show? Yes.
We're aware that when creating a remake of a beloved title, it is hard to live up to the expectations of its long-term fans. However,
If I was running this, if I was running the THQ Nordic Digital Showcase,
new stories from the
I'm saving the last Ronin for
and
last.
expanding on those that die-hard fans have known for more than 2 decades.
Because I know
We are
70% of
also
people are
focusing our
dipping
attention on enhancing many aspects of gameplay,
as soon as
such
it's
as diverse
as soon as
NPC
it gets
routines
shown
and
off.
reactions, more complex crafting, and more rewarding character progression. Despite the passage of time, Gothic remains in the hearts and minds of many players. With the possibilities of Unreal Engine 5 and a variety of modern features, Gothic Remake will soon rekindle that love. Whether you've been a loyal fan for years or are just looking for a true RPG experience,
I might pick this up.
welcome back to the colony.
I might actually pick this up. I've been looking for like an RPG like this. Nice open world RPG, like actual dialogue options, decent looking combat. Well, I gotta see a little bit more of the combat, but I'm intrigued because I love what Baldur's Gate 3 did with the visuals and the story and the choices, but I hated the combat. I love the Dragon's Dogma 2 combat, the character creator, the size of the world, but I thought the story was ass. So if we could merge those together, that would be perfect for me. What game you talking about? What the story is as? Oh, yeah, I was talking about Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a little divisive. It did well, and it had the makings of a truly amazing game. It just had some really bad choices. Like it definitely feels like it was designed to be as annoying to the player as possible. And I didn't really get into the story, and it didn't just feel like a true RPG. Like after experiencing Baldur's Gate 3 and like, oh, this is how a kind of RPG should feel like. Like you want to get to know all these characters. You're excited to dive into the story and learn, you know, how everything plays out. And Dragon's Dogma just wasn't that. It was just the best part about Dragon's Dogma was exploring, unlocking the different classes, you know, fighting monsters. Like that part was really cool. But when you got into the quests and stuff, it was it was not great. Oh my god, what happened to that giant pig? It's so big, its guts exploded. Worldwide game reveal, Gamescom Open Night Live, August 20. We will be there for Gamescom Open Night Live. Not for that game specifically, but just in general. It's not Jover till it's Jover. What game you think getting announced August 20? I don't know, tons of games. It is Gamescom. But we do know Sony will not be there. Be prepared to ride again. I want to ride over to the last Ronin. As of today, THQ Nordic HandyGames included has 23 games in development. They're off 13 still announced after the showcase. Thank you for watching. Boo! No Darksiders. Oh, I guess rip last Ronin. Sorry all you Darksider enjoyers. But more importantly, the dream is dead. Rip the last Ronin. Guess it. Well, I said either way, we were getting our answer today. It was either going to be great news or bad news. And we got the bad news. Rip. The Embracer Group has killed another game. How many games is that? Dozens at this point. Let's see. The Embracer Group shut down Volition. They gave they sold off Saber. So that was the KOTOR remake. That's gone. Saber's still trying to make that work on their own. They got rid of Gearbox. So fortunately Gearbox is found a new home for their new Borderlands. They fired a bunch of people at Eidos Montreal and canceled the Deus Ex game. That also eliminates Guardians of the Galaxy 2. They made Black Forest fire 50% of their staff, so looks like Last Ronin is dead. Damn, how many more games is the Embracer Group going to ruin? Better not hear any Darksider slander. Well, they said they had like 23 games still in development that they decided not to talk about at this showcase. So Darksiders could be one of them. Damn, actual rip. At least we're still getting the movie. At least we're still getting the Last Ronin movie. The Embracer Group may have killed the game, but Paramount is still making the Last Ronin movie. So we may not get the game, but we can at least get the movie. Bittersweet comfort. Many games go for years, like Wolverine. Darksiders was the final thing. It's not could be. They confirmed it. I don't care about Darksiders. There are no turtles. I wanted to see some turtles. Insomniac Games should get the right to TMNT. Nah, Insomniac has enough going on. They wouldn't be able to do a Turtles game for like 15 years. They're booked for the next decade. Turtles are lame. You're lame. Well, Darksider fans seem to be happy, so there's that. Legitimately, the Embracer Group just ruins everything. They poorly mismanaged their funds. They made a big bet on getting $2 billion from Saudi Arabia to fund all the WoW purchases they were making. And then when that blew up in their face, they just destroyed the industry. Travis's worst take yet. They just watched a TikTok about how shit Embracer is. They're legitimately awful. Legitimately awful. What they've done to gaming. Right? It's bad enough we had the Game Informer news today. Now it looks like the Last Ronin is cooked. Oh boy. That sucks. That sucks. Let me update this. Why do you think it got canceled? It is not normal for a game that is in development that just had a teaser trailer at the last showcase to get news that they're losing more than 50% of their staff and then not give an update on the game. Even a statement. Like sure, Insomniac only showed one trailer for Wolverine, but we knew it was coming. They confirmed on Twitter they were working on it. And when the hack occurred, they released a statement assuring people that, despite how devastating the cyber attack was, they were still moving forward with Wolverine. And everything, would still be okay. They would work it. They would figure it out. We heard that Black Forest is losing more than 50% of their staff, and everyone's like, well, what happened in the Ninja Turtles game? And crickets. All we got was a cryptic tweet from a CEO who didn't confirm when the next update would be, or even if the game was still available. So we could interpret it as, oh, he was saving that information for the THQ Nordic Showcase. But now the Nordic Showcase happened and there was no update for the last Ronin, so it just feels like the game is canceled and they just haven't got around to announcing it yet. Maybe they're still looking for funding. Maybe they're still trying to find a. I bet if we're being super on the bright side positive, I'm jumping to facts. I'm looking at the facts and making an educated assumption. Studios close over stuff like this. First of all, if you've been paying attention to the industry, if you understand how it all works, when you hear a studio is laying off 50% of their staff or more, that usually only ever happens when a game comes out and completely bombs. Like we just heard, there's massive layoffs coming from the developers of Flintlock Siege at Dawn, because apparently that game didn't do well. Mortals of Avian, that studio had massive layoffs because that game bombed. Like, mass studio layoffs happen when games bomb, not during active development of a game. Like, that's studio closure level stuff we're talking about, first off. So the fact that occurred, they lost more than 50% of their staff while in the middle of working on this licensed game and have not given any updates confirming if it's still in development, that means it is either canceled or they're trying to salvage it. Like Saber Interactive, like this is what I was saying before I got it, before you commented. The best case scenario is if it's like a Saber Interactive situation or something similar. Saber Interactive took over for the Knights of the Old Republic. Embracer Group put them in charge of the Knights of the Old Republic remake after Sony rejected it. And they said they were going to rework it. Then the Embracer stuff happened with them all closing studios, canceling projects, laying people off. And Saber Interactive said, all right, we're just going to separate ourselves from the Embracer Group and try to work it out on our own. Gearbox worked out they all got together, they worked out a sale so that Gearbox wouldn't have to lay people off, wouldn't have to do mass layoffs. They got bought by somebody else. So I'm thinking maybe the Black Forest CEO is trying to find additional funding. Maybe he still wants to make the game. Obviously the situation is bleak no matter how you look at it. but maybe he still wants to make the game. He's not ready to call it yet. And they're looking for additional funding. You know, they're looking to hire, you know, staff because they lost more than 50%, you know, and they're trying to make it work. That's why he's not confirming that it's canceled, but it's definitely trending towards canceled. If they can't even say, guys, don't worry, we're not canceling the game. We're still working on it. We'll have an update for you as soon as we can. Like that's an easy thing to do. And it is something we've seen before. The fact that it hasn't happened yet is nothing but bad news. There's no good news out of that. If they haven't even made that statement yet. That's why I'm jumping to the conclusion that is canceled. When you look at all the facts together, it does not paint a good picture of the last Ronin game. Like, the absolute best case scenario I can think of is they're just still trying to figure out how to get additional funding without the Embracer Group, but trying to work something out so that they can get the funding they need to finish the game. So maybe, since THQ Nordic is going to be at Gamescom, maybe they're hoping to have good news by the time Gamescom rolls around. Best case scenario. Absolute best case scenario. But the fact that there was not even a statement at the THQ Nordic Showcase, not even a tease, like that's a bad sign. That's a very bad sign. And it's very sad that the Embracer Group tanked another project. No updates on a Superman game. The comic run ran until 2022, and the game announced last year. Games take forever to develop. Could just need more time. Remember, again, the game had a teaser trailer last year, and then they lost more than 50% of their staff this year. That's extremely important context that you can't leave out from this situation. They lost more than 50% of their staff. That's not typical for a game that's in development. That's we're closing the studio situation and canceling the game situation, typically. Not the best group adversaire. Definitely not the best. They stripped nothing. They said nothing about it. They didn't. They even teased future stuff. They said, hey, they left a note. They said, hey, this game we're going to see more of this game at Gamescom on August 20th. They left a note at the very end of the stream and said, hey, we have 23 games in development. You know, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. No comment about the last Ronin. None. Nothing. They didn't say anything. Not a word about it. If anything, the layoffs just set them back a ton, but since still the game could be last attempt to perform well like Saints Row is. Not even. So the Volition situation was completely different. So Volition were trying to find their footing after their last several games completely flopped. But they hadn't had any layoffs yet because the Embracer Group had all the money. So they said, okay, we're going to go back to our roots and we're going to do another Saints Row game. And then the Saints Row reboot, obviously, was not well received. It sold 1 million the first week and then died right after that because word of mouth spread that, oh yeah, the game is garbage, and just left it. And then that was the end of it. And then Embracer, started making some adjustments to Volition. After that, moving some of their staff to Gearbox. And then when they lost their $2 billion investment, then that's when they ultimately closed Volition. It was not dependent. The success of the studio was not dependent on Saints Row. The only reason Embracer even closed the studio is because they lost out on that $2 billion investment. So the situations are totally different. The world is indeed cruel. Nah, I think the live action Last Ronin movie is gonna be dope. That's what I'm gonna look forward to. But we're 18 days away from Gamescom, so let's cope for a little longer. Let us Last Ronin fans cope for a little longer. That maybe they'll announce it they'll say something at Gamescom. Anything. It does not look good though, but we'll see. Well, congrats to Darksider enjoyers. Hope you're happy. We'll catch you tomorrow. I got it. Hopefully we're gonna bounce back. We got another showcase happening next week. This one is for the Disney and Marvel and Star Wars enjoyers. So hopefully that one's good. I have a video about that tomorrow coming out. So stay tuned. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be right back next week, hopefully with less disappointment. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out. Peace.